Hey everyone, and welcome to Bias, Bros Input About Sports. Now we have a lot of topics and a lot of people to get to, so let's get the ball rolling with our first one. Hitting. In the NFL, it's become such a controversial topic to discuss. The lack there of hitting, how hard you can hit somebody in the NFL, where you're supposed to hit somebody, no longer head, no longer legs. There's so many points I want to discuss about this real quickly. Tom Brady going against the Chiefs gets hit low in the leg, ACL injury by Bernard Pollard, out for the year, and that started to turn the tables of, ooh, you can't go low anymore, you can't go after the quarterback like that, you gotta aim for the chest, and that's when all the rules started getting implemented, and in my opinion, is just ruining the game. I understand the fact of you don't want to injure these players, you don't want their careers to be cut short, but in my opinion, giving the quarterbacks so much of a favorable position, and the defensive player has to be so careful when hitting not just the quarterback but any offensive player, because that's most likely going to be a penalty. James Harrison is one of the most hard-hitting defensive players in history of the NFL. He's lost a lot of money, and that's because of Roger Goodell, and it's because of these rules. He would jack up these people, he would destroy these people, these wide receivers, these running backs. He no longer can do that. He has to change his game. He's got to mold it around this new NFL. So, all in all, it's a controversial topic. Vinny, I know you have an opinion on this. Let me hear it.
Thank you, Josh. And my take on the NFL hits today are the NFL has to realize they have to put some of the blame for these major hits on themselves. Particularly the one instance is Rob Gronkowski hit, where he tore his ACL and MCL and now done for the year. When you're going that fast in the field of play, you're not going to be able to dictate where exactly you end up hitting the guy. Now, granted, the way the NFL combats this is they have to teach from a younger age the proper way to hit, and as well as develop other safety equipment, which they've started to do, which you got to commend. But at the same time, the game currently today, if you try to reteach players a different way to hit when they're going that fast on the playing field, there's got to be bad hits that lead to bad injuries. But let me get off that topic for a little bit. Let's go to the potential playoffs, particularly in the NFC East. It's become a two-team race between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. And let me say this as a fellow Cowboys fan, yikes. The Cowboys could be in for some major trouble in years to come. It starts at the head and goes all the way down. It starts with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones needs to step away from trying to be a GM of his own team, because he's not thinking what's best for the team. It was clear this past offseason when he kept Jason Garrett. Granted, Jason Garrett, good coordinator, not a good head coach. Plus also, you gotta also look at the fact of him sticking with Tony Romo. Now, granted, that move I don't mind. Tony Romo has proven he can be a good QB. However, whenever the month of December rolls around, Tony Romo just said, I don't know what his deal is, but he acts like he doesn't want to play anymore. Even though his numbers, up until December, he's been one of the best QBs this season, particularly in the fourth quarter. Everybody has been saying, oh, Tony Romo's not clutch. His numbers prove that otherwise. Meanwhile, with Jerry Jones acting as a GM and an owner, the Cowboys aren't going to go anywhere. And it kills me to say that, being a fellow fan. But the Cowboys are not going to go anywhere with Jerry Jones at the helm as the GM. what Jerry Jones and the Cowboys need to do is hire a actual GM to make the decisions. And the first thing that needs to do is Jason Garrett needs to be gone at the end of this season. Cowboys don't make the playoffs. Jason Garrett needs to go. I said that after last season, and I'm going to say it as a reinforce that this offseason. Jason Garrett's seat right now is not just hot, it is a blazing inferno. Get rid of him. Bring in a coach that, like a Ken Wisenhunt, for example, who led Arizona. Ken Wisenhunt led Arizona to a Super Bowl a couple years ago. Ken Wisenhunt knows how to work with the QB. He knows how to run a good offense. He proved that in Arizona. Bring him in, clean up the mess, and get the Cowboys back to their former glory. So I'm going to throw this to Derek Palaki to take over.
Thanks, Vinny. NFL coaching hot seat, something I love. You go through the names, people, where they're going to end up, where they're going, who's coming in. Let's go to it, though. You look at the first-year guys. Rod Chudzinski, Doug Marrone, they're okay. Gus Bradley, I think they're all going to make it. Bradley especially, starting to figure out his team. Leslie Frazier, a guy I championed to be there. Looks like he's got to go. There's got to be a change there. I mean, they tried it. They stayed in-house. It didn't work. I mean, he's had QB trouble, but that happens. I think it is time for Leslie to go. You look at Tom Coughlin. Everyone says he's right. He's written his own release, basically, and I think he should step down this year. But I wouldn't expect him going. He says he wants to go on, but give it up. Don't give it up, but I expect him to. They expect him to step down eventually, but he says he's going to coach more. You look at Rex Ryan, gotta go. Disaster. It looked okay, which got people scared, saying we're going to have to keep Rex. Get rid of him now. He's gone. Dennis Allen, young. They say the players like him, but he hasn't put up. Look at Tom Cable, 8-8, 6-0 against the AFC West. Couldn't keep a job. I think he's gone. Mike Munchak, I feel for him. He said QB trouble, whether it was Hasselbeck, whether it was Walker, and then Fitzpatrick came in and whatnot. It's been a whole thing there. I wouldn't be shocked if they gave him another year, though. Wouldn't be shocked if they fired him. Mike Shanahan says he wants to keep going. Makes no sense. They got to get rid of him. They got to trade RG3. Keep Kirk Cousins. And the big name, Jason Garrett. My final point here, but I'm running out of time here. Jason Garrett. Jerry Jones says he's safe. Now, he said this, three weeks ago. So, little different story. But, remember, the only way they can win a division, it comes down to Week 17, Cowboys, Eagles, winner takes all. This seems familiar, though. Go back to last year. Cowboys, Redskins, winner take all. Lost. Go back to the year before that. Cowboys, Giants, winner take all. If they lose a third straight to their division opponent, winner take all, it doesn't matter if Jason Garrett signed a 5-year extension. He's gotta go. That's what I have about that. But LeBron to Cleveland, certainly a very, very interesting phenomenon in general. But there are other teams that are going to go out there. And before I begin, let me make a point here. We're all human. We all look at these athletes, these stars making millions of dollars, and we think, oh, they got it all, and what do they think? But remember, they're still human. And this is where the human element comes in with LeBron. There's 4 storylines here. Chicago, chasing Jordan. Work with D. Rose, wants to get those rings. Chicago's got a good team. Joakim Noah's there. They got a good team. The other guys, Josh has got the nicknames, ask him. Lakers, go in prime time. Now, what does LeBron want to do? 4 different areas here. Does he go prime time? Join Kobe. Do it together. Maybe end that collide they have and win one together, and that would be a good story. Does he go to the Heat? Does he stay where he won it? Does he honor the fans? who helped him, well, not help him, the fans, they pay the money, whatever, who watched him get the ring and LeBron went to Miami for championships, is he going to leave? Is he going to do to them basically what he did to Cleveland? Is the idea here? Or is it the last one, Cleveland, go home? But you also have another cool story there. It's a second try with Mike Brown. Couldn't get the ring the first time, got there, but couldn't get it. Could you imagine them working together again? I think that would be phenomenal. Where's he going to go? But really quickly, if he goes to the Lakers, I've been anti-LeBron. I picked Dallas and I was right. I picked San Antonio and I should have been right. If he goes to the Lakers, I got to cheer him on and I'd root for him, but it would just be weird. I don't know about that. Where do I think he's going to go, though? He's a human being. You're not thinking he's thinking, let's go home or let's go prime time? LeBron doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to commit to the Heat for the rest of his life. Does it seem like it? He went. He got his ring. 2 now. He got them. Is it time to move on? And you know what? I don't know where he's going to go. But the one name I would cross off most, crossing it off, see, it's crossed out, is the Miami Heat. What say you, Big Tone?
Thanks, Derek. Does he go to Cleveland or does he stay in Miami? Does he come to New York? There's so many different opportunities of where LeBron can go this possible summer. I personally think he stays in Miami. I would love him to come to New York. I'd love him to play for the Knicks. Doubt that's going to happen. But I can see him maybe going to Cleveland. It's up in the air. But I really think he's going to stay in Miami, play one more max contract, and maybe towards the end of his career go play with Kyrie Irving. Towards the end of his career, maybe win that city that championship that they were begging for. So it could happen. I wouldn't be shocked if it does. But what I want to talk about is the New York Yankees and their offseason moves and what they've done so far. I like it. You got McCann, you got Ellsbury, you got Beltran to fill in that run production that you lost with Cano and Granderson. Cano going to the Mariners and Granderson going to the Mets. You lost that run production, but you refilled it with these 3 guys, for the same amount of money that you would have paid those 2. So, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. But with these 3 guys, I like it because you build a hell of an outfield, with Beltran, Ellsbury in center. Now you maybe could platoon Gardner and right, and have that Gardner-Ellsbury 1-9 combination. So I like what they're doing so far with their lineup, but there's still a lot of work to be done. You got Sean Kelly and you got Brian Roberts to platoon over second base, but there's still better second basemen out there. I don't think they're the answer for second base, but you still need to address that pitching. Tanaka's coming up, maybe being posted for the Major League Baseball, and the Yankees might sign him. There's other pitchers out there. Maybe make a trade for David Price. See what we can do there. Build up that rotation. Josh, I know you're a huge Yankee fan, so I want to go ahead and get your opinion on that.
Thanks, Anthony. I definitely have an opinion on this. Being a Yankees fan, I love the acquisitions that we got. Carlos Beltran. We got Jacoby Ellsbury. We got Brian McCann. We got a lot of pieces that could potentially be a championship team. We lost Granderson, we lost Cano going to the Mariners, and Granderson going to the Mets. We lost them, but at the same time, we got pieces that we are able to fill in now, and a lot of outfield depth. And with that, though, there's one thing that we didn't get. Pitching. And that's been the key for the Yankees organization. We need good pitchers. In my eyes, we lost our 3rd best starter on the team in Phil Hughes. We got to get somebody. In my opinion, since we have Ichiro and we have Alfonso Soriano, Beltran, Ellsbury, in my opinion, we need to get rid of Brett Gardner. Trade Brett Gardner. Yes, he's injury prone, but if you want stolen bases, you want a leadoff hitter, that is your guy. And if we can find a 3rd starter for this, we'll be fine. The Yankees are going to be fine when it comes to hitting. It's just a matter of pitching. We can score 11 runs in a game. But the problem is, if we don't have good pitching, so can the other team. So, when it all comes down to, I think they should trade Brett Gardner, get some pitching, And that way we have a great outfield, an infield which is a work in progress because we need still a second baseman to solidify that second base position, and pitching. Once we get pitching, the Yankees will be fine and we'll be back on the top once again. But thank you for tuning in to Bias. Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to break down the sports world once again. Thank you guys. See you next time.